Storm.
This time it's my turn. I'm staying with my
I know.
I knew you'd
say that. Everybody else
Well, I wasn't
abandoned
going to
me.
let the young ones get all the glory.
Your help would be a blessing, Father.
You see? You should go now, my child. Be careful. We are all praying for your success.
Thank you, Petrus. Be careful too.
Okay. Oh man. Ring of Divine Light. Alright. Oh. Let's take a look at this ring. Ooh, slightly better. At least better quality. I'll take it. You can have this one. Great. All right. Nobody's around to sell anything. Of course nobody is around to sell anything. Yeah, let's drop. This thing is way too heavy. This one's weighs 16 pounds, or 16 of something. That'll at least help a bit. And what's my heaviest R? Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, drop these, drop these. I don't need those. One more save. This is it. Alright, time to face our cousin, Constantine. I am gonna be so upset if there seriously is nothing we can do to save him and still save everybody else. I have a feeling. But we'll see. Constantine, stop. Let me do, now that we're at the very end, I'm just going to do one more Codex. Just because I just want to make sure that I get everything. Laboratory manager, in spite of her efforts, the scientist found herself involved in an atrocious experience of her mentor, Dr. Silly. She witnessed the torture suffered by the poor natives and captured Knots. And although these methods have obviously disgusted her, she never had the courage to jeopardize her reputation and her career to oppose him. Dr. Silly. Dr. Silly is considered one of the greatest scholars of the Bridge Alliance, as comfortable with mathematics as the botany or medicine. He is best known for being the inventor of inoculation, a treatment allowing people not to catch certain diseases. He was Afra's mentor for several years before she left the circle of his students. But his obsession with the discovery of a cure for the Malachor has pushed him to extremes that even his peers would condemn, torturing natives and Knots without remorse in his secret laboratory hidden under the city of Hikmet. I'm surprised he didn't mention the fact that he was executed. Vinbar. Vinbar is the High King of Tirfredi and the leader of the Vigaig Aweles clan, the Wind Weavers of the village of Wenshavar, but no one has seen him for months. You have finally found the trace of the High King who disappeared after having long isolated himself in a cave of knowledge. It seems that he decided to abandon himself to the spirit of the island and become a Nadaig Manainen, a mountain guardian. You had to kill the High King, who lost his mind and turned himself into a guardian to free Constantine from his grip. Okay. Main Falag, the Rocky Mountains. Main Falag is a steep area of the slopes of the mountain that gave it its name, the Rocky Mountains. Daintenem. This sacred place is a place of connection and of power for the Denoigada of the mountains. Its name means the teeth of the sky. Anheid, the fiery soul. This small region is accessible only to the kings and queens of Tir Fredi, or those willing to pass the many trials that grant access to the sanctuary hidden in the heart of the volcano. Okay, most of these are done. Sheep. Natives also domesticated sheep for their wool and milk, as did the settlers. With a notable difference with the continent, it is still common to see wild bighorn sheep, recognizable by their darker coat in the mountainous region of the island. Corrupted Nadaig Frasman. This creature looks a lot like Nadaig, but it looks sick and attacks even the natives that it once protected. Corrupted Nadaig Mainemen. This creature looks a lot like a Nadaig, but looks sick and attacks even the natives that it once protected. Corrupted Nadaig Vendmen. Same thing. Corrupted Nadaig Glendmen. And Corrupted Nadaig Magmen. Cool. Alright. Sorry about that. I know that was sort of like anticlimactic, but I just wanted to, again, completionist in me just really needed to do that real quick. Fortunately, there weren't very many. Constantine, just listen to me, please. Stop this madness. I don't like that look you're giving me, Constantine. Do I need to fight you? I will fight you. Oh, this is by myself, apparently. Okay, swiftness potion. Greater swiftness potion. Ooh. Can I do greater armor ointment or resistance, major resistance potion? Okay. Woo! Nice. I am still fast. Alright, let's do this. Come on, son. You and me. Let's dance. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Woo! It's alright. My resistance. Whoa. I'm still super fast. Potion. Swiftness. Greater swiftness. Just gonna keep popping these down, son. Let's do... use them or lose them. Nice. Just before. How embarrassing. Just before. Woo! Yeah, my dodging skills is just crazy good. Crazy good. Major. Yeah. What now, son? What now? What now, son? What now? Take that, extreme god. Whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. Nope, not today. Let's pop some more swiftness potion. You are too slow, punk. Whoa. Way too slow. Nope, too slow. Ah, nice. Now you're... Alright, now you're giving me a run for my money. Ooh, nice. Nice. I thought that was gonna... The last game. I figured that was gonna happen. Let's try this again. Try this again. I was like, I was like, yeah, he's probably gonna hit me, but I'm just gonna take a potion now. So, try round 2. I know I can take him. I don't wanna, like, extreme is like the perfect, that he is challenging. He is challenging, but very doable. Doable. All right. Let's do swiftness potion again. Ah, not when I'm right in front of him. Can I try it again? Okay, try this again. Okay, try this again. Okay. Major swiftness. I need to do greater swiftness potion. Woo! Whoa. Yep. Love the swiftness potion. It's so good. Nice. Come on. Yeah, I know your tells. Ooh, I need to do a swiftness potion again. Swiftness potion, how I love thee. Woo! Nice. Exactly where I need you to be to set this up. Now, major magic potion. While you're stunned. Whoop! Whoop, 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 whoop. You're at less than full half health, son. What now? You want to change up your attacks a bit? Come on. Come on. Whoop. Nah, no. Too slow. Ooh, alright. Storm. You're at like a third of health. Oh man, I missed on my storm. Gotta get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way. Cool. Swiftness potion. Magic potion. Use him now, because I'm not going to use him again. Alright, now use a storm. Perfect. Woo! Come on, just a little bit more. Just a little more, son. You getting tired? I can do this all day. Nice. Level 38. Nice.
No! Stop! Step back. I do not desire your death. I'm sorry. Why? Why have you done this?
Why, Constantine? Why?
But for you. For us. So that we may live free at last. This makes no sense. Constantine, it's madness. You don't understand because you're still attached to the old world. This old, dying world which, to survive, has betrayed, used, and manipulated us and would not have hesitated to kill us. Perhaps, but I've seen death, cousin. And I understood the vanity of it all. My father's ruses, just so he could earn more power. The political bowing and scraping to preserve corrupted nations. I have been offered unrivaled power, allowing me to get rid of this. To send the old world back to its inevitable death, and to build something new here. Something unique.
So you're just gonna kill all these
This new
people.
world is my gift to you. You and I could be its new
No,
gods,
I don't want that.
the immortal and benevolent
I don't want to
monarchs.
be... I don't want that.
Is the incarnation of the old world he is speaking of. He has its vices and its poison. For his own immortality, he's prepared to destroy everything around him, to break millennia of cycles.
Yeah, and you can't do that, Constantine.
I implore you, flesh of my land, think of all the lives that will come to an end to feed his bride.
Don't listen to this old god. He's like all the others, after all, clinging to life.
I don't think so, Constantine.
All you have to do is to bind yourself here, with me. And we will be gods
Oh,
together
and here's a choice.
forever.
This is the choice. Kill Constantine, link yourself to Constantine. There's nothing we can do. And there it is, the final choice. The final choice. Oh my gosh, it all came down to this. After everything we've been through, I'm just like, all of the memories that I've had of Constantine throughout this game, like just the relationship and how it grew with Desarde and how close they already were at the beginning of the game. Now this is what it's come down to, and it sucks so much because I love my cousin. I love Constantine dearly, and I'm happy that the game sort of gave him an out in that it's not he's been manipulated. Like, this is not 100% him. He's been corrupted. That's an explanation as to why he's gone down this path, but there is a little bit of darkness within him. Like, that darkness didn't come from nowhere. Like, it needed a source of some sort, and it fed off of that darkness that I guess everyone has. Not just him, but everyone has. Desarde, I'm sure, has it too. And it just ended up growing and growing and growing until he finally just put aside his moral compass and lost his way. In my opinion, lost his way. And now we're down to this final choice where you can either join Constantine and just destroy everything, or kill him. And it's awful to betray our cousin like that, even though he betrayed us, even though he did, well, in his mind, in his head, he doesn't think he's betraying us. In his head, he's doing all of this for us. He's doing all of this for us so that we together can be gods. But, like, I don't want that. I don't want that. And I'm disappointed that Constantine wants that. Again, granted, a lot of it is because he's been corrupted. And he just doesn't see, because he's too blinded with his lust for power, unfortunately. Which is kind of tropey, I will admit. That is a bit tropey, but it's fine. It's fine. It's a fine motivation, just not a unique motivation. Very overused motivation. And then if we link ourselves to Constantine, like, that is such a betrayal to everyone. All of our companions, all of the people, all of the innocent lives. Yes, the people... I guess one reason why people might want to link themselves to Constantine is because if they're like sick and tired with the nonsense of Teleme and the nonsense of the Bridge Alliance, and the nonsense of you know, the tribes constantly like fighting the Renaigse and all that good stuff. If they're just like sick and tired of all these factions, then, you know, linking to Constantine might be very very tempting as like sort of a middle finger to everyone on this island that is corrupted. And there are many people in this island who are corrupted, not just Constantine, you know, and this corruption, you know, is concealed underneath the skin internally. Whereas, yeah, so, but despite that, even though, yeah, there are some really awfully corrupt people in this island, I don't think that that means that Desarde thinks it's right for him to let Constantine continue with this madness. So, I'm sorry, cousin.
Come.
He's gonna stab him. I'm so sorry, cousin. That's all you can say is what a shame. That's all you can say. After all we've been through, Constantine, all you can say is what a shame. Sorry, Constantine. I wish there was...
Good night, sweet prince.
Oh. Good night, sweet prince. I'm sure that was so hard for Desarde. So hard for him. That final moment was a bit lacking, though. All he could say was such a shame. Like, they couldn't have some sort of heartfelt... I know that's also cliche, but it would have been nice if there could have been like a heartfelt dying words, like just for that moment. In that moment, he came out of it.
After the fall of Constantine, my young student managed to establish stronger links between the old nations and the natives.
Nice.
Some of their Donegada were even invited to the continent, and with their help, it slowly became a land filled with life again. And for the first time in a long while, the number of cases of the Malichor is decreasing. Those who bravely fought at Dorhad Genadu were celebrated everywhere. After all, if it weren't for this unlikely alliance, the island would have fallen into Constantine's greedy hands. Following this amazing victory, Vasco was awarded the rank of Commander of the Fleet.
Nice.
But he refused this honor.
Oh.
He preferred to stay beside the one he loved,
Aww.
although they do occasionally put out to sea.
Aww.
Sieglinde took Kurt as an advisor.
Yes.
But he insisted on keeping his place alongside his former student and
Aww.
friend, watching his back, as he always
I've
had.
got both my boys with me.
Siora obtained the title of Marl of the Red Spears
Yeah, Siora.
alongside her twin. She leads them with wisdom, but often reunites with the one she still calls her Karans.
Nice.
Afra set aside her weapons and went back to her research on the native culture and flora of the island. It is said that she is even writing a book with the help of Dunkas's clan when not visiting her friends.
Good on you, Afra.
Petrus's ambitions have finally been fulfilled. He obtained the much-coveted title of Cardinal. Despite the responsibilities implied by such a title, he still sometimes visits the one he calls his child.
Oh.
Despite the help Ulan received, which allowed him to restore the importance of the seaside Nemeus, he still had to renounce the role of Marl as he faced the contempt of the other clans. Her friendship with the Renaigse helped Deirdre to overcome her reticence.
Oh, good.
She willfully accepted to follow the orders of her new High Chief.
She better.
Dunkas and his people spent a lot of time with savants and theologians. Patiently, they shared their knowledge of the Earth and learnt new techniques from one another. And in so doing, they restored balance between the New World and the Old. Following the investigations revealing the horrifying practices of Dr. Asili, the Alliance changed their methods and even appointed an ethics council to oversee the work of its scholars.
Perfect.
The public revelations of St. Matthias's life led to a deep change in Telene.
I hope so.
The Ordo Luminis was dismantled for good, and the missionaries' purpose is now to establish dialogue rather than conversion.
Thank you.
Aware that their culture of secrets would lead them to their demise, the Nords changed their methods. They welcomed numerous new recruits amongst them, notably natives.
Oh, nice.
Under Sieglinder's control, the Guard returned to the honorable values that had made its reputation.
Good.
And they did so all the more easily, now that their shadiest members were out of the picture.
Thank the Maker. Wow. Nice. Oh, wow. So that's it, guys. That was Gay Let's Play Greedfall. So, immediate thoughts. I thought that the ending, as in, like, all the stuff leading up to the final battle, again, could have been executed a little bit better. I think it could have been bigger. I think it could have been a lot more epic. I think that a huge thing that they could have done, and maybe this might not have been part of, this might not have been enough, they didn't have enough of resources or enough of a budget to do this, is if they just added something to the soundtrack, if they came up with a more epic song or soundtrack music for the final climb up the volcano, and also had this epic final boss music, that would have made so much difference in the world, because it would have made you feel like this is it, this is the end game, this is the end. Instead, because we didn't have that, you know, the music that was playing in the background going up the volcano was music that we've heard before. The boss fight was just, you know, boss fight music that we've heard before. There wasn't anything different about it. It, you know, it could have felt like a whole another regular mission, and it just didn't feel like it was the end. It didn't feel like it was a boss battle. So I wouldn't say that it felt like the ending just ended abruptly. That's not really the case, especially because of, I love how they did, you know, the epilogue there, and I can't pronounce his name. He was narrating what happened to each of our companions in each of the different the different factions. Like, that was all great. Oh, Benjamin O'Mahony and Liam Garrigan, thank you guys for doing such a great job of voicing my two favorite characters in this game, in addition to all of the other voice actors, of course. But yeah, I just feel like the soundtrack, if they had a better soundtrack, that would have made a huge difference to the feeling of the ending, and just made it feel more like it actually was a climax and it was actually an ending, instead of just making it feel like any other mission. So I wasn't a huge fan of how, like, they kind of peeled your companions away from you little by little. I think I get why, though, because I think it would have helped make that final decision, slightly harder, because if your companions aren't around, then that means they aren't around to try to talk you out of joining Constantine, even though I don't think I would have been tempted at all to join Constantine, but just having the characters not there, I get that's probably why they did that, but it just felt, again, very anticlimactic. It just felt very anticlimactic to me, just being there, and you're there with your companions only for them to just not be with you at the final battle, and you just had to fight this boss all by yourself, which, it's not as fun as if you had all of your companions with you. So that was another sort of letdown. So those are the biggest things that I felt about the finale. I liked that there were a lot of things near the end that caused us to make some major changes or make choices that affected how things would wrap up. For example, deciding who was going to be king or queen, I guess, high king or queen of the natives. Like that was pretty neat, and all the stuff with Acilier was really cool. That was the Dr. Acili is probably like my favorite mission. Just would have loved to have had a court scene there. That would have been really epic. There are all these little things, and I think a lot of it is just because they had limited resources. So I'm willing to willing to look past them, but I'm just bringing it up because as feedback. So if they when they develop their next game, if they are able to use some extra resources towards something, those are some things that they might want to consider for a future title. And I hope that they do. I hope that they do make another game, because while this game, is not a perfect game whatsoever, you could really see that they tried very hard, and they did care about this game. They cared. So we talked about the ending. One thing that as I said before, that I really love about this game that I thought was very strong were the way that they designed the quests and the side quests, especially in the beginning. I noticed that, and I love how there were multiple ways you could, complete a quest, many different options, ways that quests could turn out. So that gave you a little bit of replay value. That was something that I thought they did solid. But I think that I really wanted more stuff with your companions. I wanted the companions to just have more dialogue. I think I really would have loved to have had, again, after major acts, have them have new things to talk about, new things to say. Because, again, if they're trying to get inspiration from the BioWare games, that is one thing that I thought that they should have prioritized more. If they wanted people who were fans of BioWare games or games like BioWare games, that's something they should have invested more time in, because that's the stuff that people really, I would like to say many people, or I'm even going to say it, most people, I would like to say most people who play those games care and value, like, your party members and your interactions with your party members. And you could have amazing gameplay and not have the depth of companion interactions that you do with BioWare games, and it just would not be as good, versus having okay gameplay but like amazing interactions with your companions. In my opinion, I think that would draw at least more BioWare fans more. In my opinion, I think that would have done it. So that's the thing. I thought that the romance scene with Bosco was fine. I think, maybe in their next game they could improve upon it more. Maybe give us the option to kiss our lover whenever we wanted, just like in Dragon Age Origins. But yeah, just more with our companions. I was hungering for that. I was going into this game hoping we were going to get something closer to something more BioWare-esque, and it just wasn't quite there. But I see potential. I think that they really should seriously consider prioritizing that more next time. Putting more resources, allocating more resources there, even if they have to sacrifice resources in other things. For me, I'd be willing to sacrifice other things in this game just so I could have had more companion stuff. But that's just me. But other than that, I mean, I thought the story was fine. I was really I liked that for the longest time there really wasn't like this big bad again, for the most part. The Constantine thing just came at the very end, and I kind of liked that the Constantine came from the very end. There wasn't, there wasn't this major villain. It was just you were dealing with the villains really were strewn throughout the game amongst all the factions. Each of the different factions had their own set of villains. Each of the factions had their own set of heroes. I would have loved to have had. I felt like getting friendly with everyone, I almost feel like it was too easy to do that. I felt like there could have been more opportunities where, like, there was no. It would have been. I actually would be fine if it was like nigh impossible. If it was completely nigh impossible to get friendly with everyone. I think that there could have been instances where, like, it had to be this group or this group, and if you sided with one group, then you totally like lost points with the other group, like a significant amount, to the point that it would be almost impossible to bring it back up again. Like, I would have wanted that a little bit more, just so that, you know, if I felt like we got the quote unquote perfect, as close to a perfect ending as possible, because everybody was friendly to us, and you know, we sided with Constantine. You know, I just felt like the difficulty, they could have made it so that, you know, it wasn't that easy to get friendlies on everyone. The difficulty of the game, as you can see, I think Magic clearly was very OP. Like, I was just destroying things. By like a third of the way through the game, I was like destroying things without too much of effort on my own for the most part, and I bumped it up to extreme. And even at the final boss, yeah, he killed me on my first try. But then in the second try, that was the reason why he killed me in the first try was because I was just being reckless and careless. But the second time, like, it was fine. So I feel like I don't think they necessarily need to tone down Magic, but maybe they needed to tone up the monsters. And for example, monsters have armor, and Magic just completely ignores armor. So maybe the beasts could have also had more magic resistance, like whatever, an armor equivalent, but for magic, so that, you know, you might have, you know, to force you to switch weapons, to force you to switch to like a secondary weapon instead of using our magic. Like, that would have been nice, like more strategy in my combat style if I had to, just for strategic reasons, switch from magic and use. But maybe they were just trying to make it so that you can build any character, and if you wanted an all magic character, you could make an all magic character. But even then, it was just the difficulty balance was just not that great. And maybe I'll play this game again and try it with, I really want to try it with guns and rifles. I want to like do it with a rifle, and that might be more of a more balanced gameplay. I don't know. But Magic, I think, made this game too easy for me. It was a little OP, which is fine for my first playthrough of it. But you know, other things, I love the world. It's a really interesting world building. The characters, the companions, like I said, were fine. I just wish we got to know them more. Desarde, I liked as a character a lot. I really loved my Desarde. He was super cool, and you know, he wasn't like your typical broody protagonist. He actually he was a diplomat, so he could talk. Throughout RPGs, I always love diplomacy. Diplomacy is like my favorite thing, next to magic. And Desarde was a diplomat, and it was just like the perfect character for me the perfect protagonist, I think, for me. It was as a diplomat that was trying to avoid combat as much as possible and like forge these relations with these factions. I think also, I mentioned this before, it would have been nice if there were more opportunities to use faction clothing to your benefit, besides just the knots. Because really, you know, the whole bit with wearing an outfit to be able to blend in with other people in the faction was just for the knots, and there wasn't really, I don't think there was anything that, you know, that was pretty much similar for any of the other factions. So I think that was like a missed opportunity there. I thought that it would have been really nice and interesting if there really was a strategy in having specific costumes with you, instead of just holding on. All I did was just hold on to a knot. I just hold on to a piece of knot clothing, and that was it. And then I could just slip onto that knot clothing and then pop out when I was not in knot territory. But yeah. So overall, it's a great game. Like I'm glad I played it. For the company that this is, and for the amount of love that I did see that they put into this game. You know, does it hold a candle to the Bio games? Absolutely not. But it's a great, you know, BioWare Light. A great BioWare Light game. And I hope that you guys enjoyed watching my playthrough of this. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, I think that's really the big things that are on my head right now, and I'm excited to see what I play next. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. A big shout out and thank you to Shay XEI for bringing this game to my attention in the first place. I think if it wasn't for him, I would not have even known that this game even existed. And can't wait to see what I will play for you guys next. So until next time, everybody, love yourselves and love my dear Constantine. Oh, may you rest in peace, cousin.